What is up guys, Michelle here, bringing you guys with another video. So in this video for today, I decided to do a 3-week update of uni so far, what went well, what hasn't gone well, lectures, flatmates, meeting people, using facilities like using the uni's library. And yeah, without further ado, let's get started with this video. So I would say that I'm getting used to the uni routine, waking up every morning, making my food for the rest of the day, leaving my flat on time, and making it to lecture on time. And so far lectures have been good. There have been some lectures that there's some stuff that I'm just not getting, but I just need to, it's just for me to just go home and find time to really go over the stuff that they've taught me. One thing that the University of Leicester, and I think other unis do the same, is that they record your lectures, which is an amazing thing, because if you are sick and you're not going to be able to turn up to your lectures, then you have the recordings that are going to be uploaded on their VLE, or for my case, I have a thing called Blackboard, which is like the University of Leicester's VLE kind of thing, where they post assignments, where we upload any essays or homework that they want us to submit through this software called Turnitin, and it detects your work to see if you haven't copied from online sources. So they take plagiarism really seriously here. If you are doing plagiarism, it's seen as an academic sin, so you need to avoid that. You have to make sure that you reference all of your work properly, you date everything, cite everything, put everything in the bibliography. And yeah, that's really important, because one thing that they've taught me is how to Harvard reference. So for the University of Leicester, we're all required to reference using the Harvard style. So when I came to uni, I kind of knew what it was from like A-levels, when we used to do like PAGs and other stuff, when we had to use online sources, and they always told us about this Harvard referencing, but I heard of it, but I just never knew how to use it. I remember using the ones where, if you got something from online, you put the number in a bracket, and then in the end of your bibliography you just write the number and where you got that information from. So that's what I've been doing, which isn't good anymore, so I need to learn how. So I have to use the Harvard reference now. So far I'm getting the hang of it. They've the University of Leicester have been so nice. They have, in the library's webpage, you can access how to Harvard reference. They teach you like how to do it, like how to cite, how to in-text citation, how to do how to cite an image, how you like do the bibliography by their surname, by the author's surname in alphabetical order, they told us. So that's stuff that I've been doing and learning, so I feel like I've gotten the hang of it, so that's pretty good. So yeah, lectures have been good and kind of tricky, but yeah, I need to just find time to just go over them. So for the first lecture that I had, we talked about DNA. We talked about why it's a genetic material. Like when I was in sixth form, they just said that yes, DNA is a genetic material. It is involved in transcription and in translation to form the proteins, etc., etc. But we didn't really go into much detail to why it's a genetic material. We were just told that yes, it's a genetic material, full stop. But for uni, we took that step further, and we looked at two hypotheses that explain why it's seen as genetic material. I might not go into like full detail because the video will be very long, but I'll just give you like a brief overview of what we kind of covered of it. So we looked at two hypotheses, and the first one that we did was about the bacteriophage invasion. So it's the idea that a bacteriophage is a virus that infects a bacteria, and two scientists called Hershey and Chase, they used P32, which is phosphorus 32, and then they just like poured it all over the bacteriophage, and then that bacteriophage would binds to the bacterial cell, and it would inject its material into it. So for this experiment, Hershey and Chase, they wanted to know what the thing that was going to be injected into the bacterial cell, what it was. They weren't sure if it was going to be protein or it was going to be DNA. So this experiment that they did was to prove what that thing was. So yeah, I'm not going to go into further detail, but in the end, they found out that it was the DNA that was being transferred from the bacteriophage into the bacterial cell. And yeah, very interesting stuff. And the other one about the transformation principle, that one is too long, so there are loads of YouTube videos. The video that I've been watching was from this channel called Don't Memorize, and they really covered it, because in the lecture I just didn't really get it because our professor went so quickly and he was talking so slow that I was kind of like, I'm not really taking this in. So I found this great YouTube channel called Don't Memorize. I recommend you guys watch it. It really covers, for those who are doing like the sciencey kind of stuff, like medical physiology, biological sciences, genetics, all of that. This will be really helpful. It really covers in great detail, loads of color. It's really slow, so you can kind of understand what the YouTuber is trying to say. And yeah, I gave it a like, so it's really good. So if it's good for me, I think you'll find it really good too. So yeah, that's what happened in my first lecture. And what I've noticed so far is that everything from A levels is really beneficial. Like, I'm really grateful that the A-level biology and the A-level chemistry have come to great use now in university, because that's what we're kind of covering now. We're just going over DNA. We've covered about the enzymes of DNA, like DNA helicase, which is used to unravel, break the hydrogen bonds, DNA polymerase, ligase, all of the enzymes, translation, transcription, ribosomes, all of that, it's covered. None of that is like bad. Like I remember in sixth form, we did like A-level chemistry. Our teacher said that, oh, everything they taught you in GCSE chemistry is fake. But all this stuff that they've covered, it's good. It's good. And I'm glad that I haven't forgotten any of this stuff, because I was worried that, oh, once we cover this stuff, oh, I'm going to forget everything from like A-level stuff, because that long summer was really nice. And kind of like, once we did all of the exams, that was it. I'll forget it. But I'm glad that I haven't forgotten anything. So we thank God for that. Another thing that they do is they also offer chemistry as well. So we just cover A-level chemistry. So I've had 2 lectures so far, which just covers the basics of like A-level chemistry. So we've covered about orbitals, we've talked about Kc, rate constant K, first order, second orders, zero orders, all of the basic chemistry stuff. And quantum shell, like first shell contains 2 electrons, 8, the second one contains 8 electrons, so on and so on. So yeah, because the chemistry, they said that it's really essential that we can get to grasps into understanding the basic chemistry from A-level, because it will come in great use in the course as we go on. So it's important that we make sure that we have that in our heads. So far, everything is looking good. The chemistry is nice. I haven't really had a problem with chemistry. Like, I've always enjoyed A-level chemistry. It was kind of like my favorite one. I really enjoyed A-level chemistry, and even at GCSE, I really liked like So I'm really glad that they have this kind of lectures on like Tuesdays that we have. So I really enjoy them. They're like the last ones of the day, so they're like 5 to 6. I know that 5 to 6, everybody's kind of tired. We're not really taking much information, but I always look forward to those lectures, the chemistry ones, because I love chemistry and it's really fun. So yeah. So assessments. So how they assess us for like the School of Biological Science that I've now taken in is that it's single best answer, which is known as multiple choice for some of you guys. So I have an exam in December 12th. So it just covers everything that we've done since the 30th of September to like December, whatever, before the exam. So we have covered so far 2 modules, BS 1030, which is seen as the molecular biology, biochemistry. So all the stuff that I talk about DNA falls into that module. And then we have the second one, which is BS 1040, and this is microbiology and cell biology. And I'm going to talk about that later on. So this one is, yeah, it's also really important. So I need to make sure that I do really well on that because, yes, I really want to do well in this course. So I'm going to try my best and pray to God that everything goes well and I've retained everything till then. So if I can do well in that, then I'll enjoy my Christmas. So I don't have to stress out for the January ones, which we have as well. So it's good. I hope that it goes well for that. So for the BS 1040, the cell biology and microbiology, we have talked about eukaryotes, prokaryotes, like A-level biology. Like, wow, guys that are doing A-levels right now as we speak, retain your stuff, because after like the summer, you know, when you finish your last exam, woohoo, everything's good, you just want to forget everything and not like have to do chemistry or biology ever again. No, make sure that it's retained, or maybe if you kind of like forgotten, maybe like before you go to uni around like August time, like after you've gotten your results, gone into uni, in Jesus' name, I recommend that you go over your A-level chemistry, A-level biology. If you have some of your notes, if you haven't thrown them away yet, just go over it. Watch some YouTubers like McChem guy, loads of biology videos as well. You should watch them as well. And Taylor tutors as well. You should watch them as well. They're really good. And yeah, just make sure that you retain them because it will really help you for the BS 1040, because it's pretty much recapping like basic cell, like, oh, cells are the building blocks of life. The cells are divided into two groups: prokaryotes, eukaryotes. One is true cell, has a true nucleus. The other one has no true nucleus and no membrane bound organelles. So all these kind of like factual stuff, keep them, because they'll come back at uni level and then they're gonna like enhance it a bit. But so far we haven't really enhanced anything. Like the one thing that they've enhanced was kind of like this part called turnover, of how you form, like maybe they talk about proteins, like how you form a protein, then you degrade the protein. So yeah, there's some enzymes that are involved in it. Like that's something I'm not really too sure on, so I need to like go over that again. So hopefully that'll be well. So for the assessments, we were told that it is 60% exams and then 40% practical reports and essays. So right now, we were given a BS 1030 essay to complete, which for the essay we have to describe B-form DNA, as well as looking for other 3D forms of DNA and how they might affect its biological function. So at first I was like, B-form DNA, what is that? But as I read more journal articles, read books, found stuff online, I started to understand it. And yeah, it was discovered by Watson and Crick. It's a right-handed double helix. It's kind of the most common one, the one that we might have all seen in our like school career and in the sciences from like early on. Like that double helix that we always see, that is B form. And yeah, so far I have actually completed it because, you know, I'm really keen. I actually enjoyed it, so I kind of like started really early. So even though the deadline, we were given a deadline, and the deadline is the 21st of October, specifically at 9 a.m. So I'm happy that I've completed the thing last Saturday, so I got loads of time, but I'm happy that I was able to do it because it was the first essay. The thing with the Harvard referencing, I wanted to learn how to do that first, so that's why I spent some time learning how to Harvard reference. And then once I was able to Harvard reference, then I went on my laptop. I started finding stuff on Google. I started looking for some journal articles that are more recent, some old ones. I looked at some websites, some YouTube videos as well, and I bookmarked all of them to make sure that I had all my sources ready. So when I was ready to write this essay, yes, I know where all the stuff are. I was able to highlight some bits so I could use that in my essay, which I did. So that has been completed. So I think that is, I'm not really sure, but I think it was like 10% so far. Even though we have like 40%, I think it's like 10% of the 40%. So I've done that already. So yeah. So I think we got our results around November time through our Blackboard VLE thing. So yeah, I just pray that that goes well. So the deadline is actually next week. I think next Monday, 21st, I think. So I think for this week I need to ask some lecturers if they're able to kind of see if they're allowed to see my essay, but I'm not really sure yet. But if they can, I'm gonna ask them if they could just see if my referencing is okay, because that's something I want to make sure it's good, because I don't want to, do the academic sin thing of plagiarism. I want to make sure that it's good. I've cited everything. And yes, the essay was 1,500 word essay. So I was able to write 1,449 words. So yeah, I was within it. So we thank God for that. So another part of the course is being in the lab. So we have been given some lab coats that we have to wear to the wet practicals, and yeah, we don't do that for the dry practical. And you might be confused with like what's wet, what's dry. So the wet practical is where, yes, I wear my lab coats and I go into the lab. So every Friday for my group at 9 a.m. to 11, we have to go to the Moore Shock building and we go to their labs, and we are given booklets of the practical that we're going to do for that day. And so the two practicals we've done, the first practical that we did, we looked at restriction enzymes of DNAs and PVU2 enzymes. So we just used that. We used the principles of PCR polymerase chain reaction, got the gel, you put the DNA strands into the little wells, then you use the electrocharge, then they move along the gel, and then you're given like different bands. And yeah, we're just looking at them. We're comparing the two types of restriction enzymes that I talked about, the DNAs and the PVU2 enzymes. We said that DNAs was the random one. It's the one that randomly cuts at different restriction sites. So that one strand that you get, that DNA is going to form multiple strands. So it's not going to be visible on the gel. Whereas for the PVU2, it's more specific. It cuts specific restriction sites. So that one strand that you see, it's going to split into two. So you will see two bands on the gel. So yeah, we just talked about that. It's really nice practical. It wasn't that difficult. Yeah, stuff from A-level biology, really handy. It was really good. And for the second one, yeah, we were comparing eukaryotes and prokaryotes. We looked at animal cells, which we had to make by ourselves. So we were given this little bottle which contained like the animal cell, and then we just had to get like a new slide. Then we had to use a pipette and add a small drop of the animal cell solution that was in the bottle, and then we had to get a cover slip, make sure that it was covered, and we had to make sure that we blotted everything with some tissue paper to make sure there weren't any like bits on this side, so we could view the animal cell properly under the microscope. So that's what we did. We just looked at different slides. We looked at the animal slide that my friend and I created. We also looked at E cells, C, S. cerevisiae. We looked at that. We looked at E. coli and S. aureus. We did. So we looked at them. We also talked about gram positive, gram negative staining. What's the difference between the two? So when we looked at the bacteria, the E. coli and the S. aureus, I forgot which one was the other way around, but one appeared reddish pink and the other one appeared like a purpley violet color. The gram positive is seen as the purpley violet slide, whereas for the gram negative, that is seen as the pinky red one. And it's to do about the reason why the gram positive bacteria appears like purpley violet under the microscope is to do with the thick peptidoglycan cell wall. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't go into more detail because some of my audience aren't from like the sciencey field. So yeah, that's all about that. One is has a thin layer of the peptidoglycan cell wall. So that's how you come. Yeah, that's the difference between them. So yeah, that's what we've done, and then we just had to pretty much look under the microscope and then just draw what we saw. Like yeah, that's stuff that we did from PAGS like 2 years ago in A-level biology. So weird to be doing it 2 years on at degree level, doing the exact thing that we did, just looking under the microscope, drawing what you saw under the microscope, the animal cell, making sure that your annotation line was parallel to the top page, no shading, you added the title, the magnification that you use for the microscope, your scale bar, like the size of the cell, could have been 2 micrometers or whatever, you had to put that down. Simple as that. And yeah, so that's what we've done so far. So right now, well, yesterday I completed the practical report. So they, on that Blackboard VLE, there was a practical report template. So I just had to get down Google Docs, and then everything that I wrote in my physical book that I wrote on Friday, I just had to like type it up, save as PDF, and then submit it through the Turnitin software. And yeah, that's what I did yesterday, and the deadline is on Friday, so that has been done. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. So everything is done electronically. We don't do stuff on paper. So all that stuff that I did on paper, they won't take that. You have to do everything online, submit it to Turnitin, and then there'll be some of our lecturers, governors, who will be marking the stuff that we've submitted. And then in a couple of weeks or so, then we'll be given our results. But for the 2 practicals that I've done, they're not going to be assessed. They're not going to count towards my degree. So it's kind of like a practice, which is really nice because, everybody's kind of getting used to like the whole Turnitin, submitting work electronically. Because for me, everything was done, I had to physically give them my work and assessments and essays and so on. So it's kind of different for me. So far I'm getting the hang of submitting everything electronically. I know where to do it, how to do it, and yeah, everything is looking good so far with everything. So I'm really up to date with my work. So I'm really happy with that. So for the library, I always go to the library. I was gonna say I've been there once. No, I go there every day. So yeah, the library at the University of Leicester is really, really nice. There are different parts of it. You have the quiet section, which I go a lot. I go there all the time. They're like different floors. I've forgotten how many floors there are, but each one has like a study area, which is the silent zone. So no talking, just do your work, put your earplugs on. That's what I've been doing. It's like my favorite place there. As well as for the noisy people or people that want to be in groups, they like studying with noise. There are some places catered to them as well. It's really like electronic around there. So when I first went to the library for the first time, I thought that would be like a librarian. You just take out the book and then you just give it to them. No, everything's electronically, so I felt kind of silly. So there's like these touch screens, and then you just click on the one that you want to do. Do you want to borrow the book? Do you want to return the book? You want to take out the book and so on. And also there's a place where you can there's another touch screen where you can just return your book, and then you just put the book through like some chute or something. So that's how it works there. So far I'm getting used to the library. It's really nice, it's really spacious, everybody's really friendly. IT help, they're really helpful as well. They actually helped me sort out my Wi-Fi, because when I first came to the uni, my goal was to make sure that the everything was set up. All the Wi-Fi was set up on my phone, my laptop, and so on around campus. So yes, I was able to get the Wi-Fi. So with this Wi-Fi, I was able to use my laptop in the library. But because before, when I didn't have the Wi-Fi, I would always study in my room, which I hardly did because it was, number one, it was too noisy, and number two, my bed was there, and sometimes I just want to just sleep, which wasn't. Well, yeah, sleeping is nice, but sometimes there were times when I just needed to get work done, and so the library was the best place to do it. So with the Wi-Fi, I've been going to the library every day after lectures, or waiting until the next lecture instead of just coming to my flat and just do nothing. I could just go to the library before the next lecture starts, so I can plan my notes, or watch the recordings from the previous lecture and start making my notes there. So meeting people. Before I moved in, I was taught that, oh, nobody's gonna talk to me. When you watch all the films when people move into uni and everybody's like, all this and all that, and you're like, oh, I'm not gonna find my circle. But yeah, when I came to uni, everybody was so nice. There were nobody that were like, I didn't see anybody that was rude to me or made terrible remarks about me. That didn't happen. Like, everybody's so friendly. People don't even know, like, if I, like, come out from my flat and you just want to walk to lectures, and you just see people just smile at you, you smile back, and you just feel good. It's a great way to start the day. So it's really nice. Also, you don't, like, the people that you meet, like, on the first day, like the first people you ever meet, they don't have to be your, like, if they are your friends, good for you. But like, you don't have, like, the friend that you meet on the first day, you might not just be friends with them afterwards. I know some people who how I met on the first day and they're friends for life. But for me, I'm still like finding my friendship groups. But also, guys, when you get to you don't have to change yourself, because I understand. I get that, like, once you get into uni, you're far away from home, you're not with your family anymore, that they can, like, watch your every move. No, you're like independent, you're on your own. So there's that point where you're like, oh my gosh, I want to, like, change myself so that I can, like, get people and all that. Like, no, you don't have to change yourself, okay? When I got to, like, I'm still like, I'm a really quiet person, and even when I went to uni, I thought that, oh, I'm gonna be like really, like, outgoing. Like, I'm still taking my time. I'm still a quiet person, and I'm proud to be me. So I'm not gonna change myself just because I'm in a different environment, and so that people can like me. That's, if they don't want to be friends with me, then that's fine. I'm not gonna change myself to get your approval. That's not me. So yeah, stay true to yourself, okay? And yeah, and don't worry, you will find your people. Obviously, for me, I'm still finding my people. It's week 3, like I said. The course is 3 years. Obviously, during that time, I'll find loads of amazing people that I might not have found yet. So obviously, take your time. And yeah, I'm just making the most of meeting some people, moving on to Flatmates. So I heard stories before moving. I watched lots of videos and read stories that, like, oh, you have flatmates that are, like, extremely messy. They steal your food. You just don't get along with them. And yeah, those kind of stuff, I got kind of scared because I was like, gosh, I'm gonna live with these people for a year. I'm so scared. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. When I moved, the people that I'm actually so grateful for the flatmates that I have. They're so nice. Like, on the first day, one of my flatmates, she came to greet me. She was so nice. She told me about she put me onto the WhatsApp group for my flat. So that was really helpful. She was really nice. She was like the first person I saw on the day I moved in. She's absolutely amazing. And then, like, on Sunday, after more of my flatmates started to come, and they were also nice. They just kept knocking on my door to just introduce themselves to me, and I did the same. I just asked them what course that they did, and they told me what course they were gonna do, and yeah, we all get along really well. With in terms of the food stealing, that hasn't happened. Well, yeah, one time, but it wasn't like deliberate or anything. So one of my flatmates. So I went shopping and I bought Dolmute sauce to make pasta. And as I always do, I always add my initials to all of the stuff that I buy, and then I put them in the fridge freezer so that my flatmates know that that is my thing and they do not take mine. If they ask, okay, you can take, but if you don't ask, that's a problem. But yeah, so on the Sunday when I wanted to make pasta, I opened the fridge and then I noticed that my Domute sauce bottle was like open, like somebody opened it, and I was kind of like, what's going on? Like, what the heck? And then my flatmate came all of a sudden, and she apologized, like she was really worried and everything, and I was like, don't have to be worried, it's fine. She actually bought the exact same thing. She bought the exact same Domete sauce that I got. So she didn't write her initial, but she just accidentally took mine because it was the same thing that she got. So yeah, and then yeah, she offered me her one, so it's good. So no hard feelings, no bad blood. We're still good. And yeah, in terms of the cleanliness of our flat, personally, I am the clean freak. Before I moved into uni, I bought all my cleaning products. I bought all the sponges, the tissues, everything. I was gonna make sure that our kitchen was good, because personally I don't like eating in a dirty kitchen or cooking in a dirty kitchen. Like, it has to be clean so I can cook. If it's dirty, I it just gives me shivers. Like, I just no. So the thing about our flat, we have a rota. So when we all came, they gave us like some rota on our bulletin board. So once once all my flatmates came, we all went to the kitchen. We discussed who's gonna do what. So then once we decided what we were gonna do, we wrote down our names on the rota. So that on Monday, one of our flatmates will vacuum. On Saturday, like mostly I'll vacuum as well. I will clean the countertops and the tables and the microwave. And yeah, and so on. Everybody has different parts as well to make sure that we maintain the cleanliness of the kitchen, because that's really important. Because yes, I've heard stories again. I watch videos that, like, there's some flatmates that are so dirty that they won't even, they're so lazy, they won't even clean their plates after. Like, they'll just leave it in the sink for only God knows how long, and then mold starts to build up. This one video I watched was really creepy about this girl. I think she was in what's this thing, Leicester as well, and I think she was in open court or something. And then there was, her kitchen was so messy, like I felt so sorry for her, like literally, that like her flatmates had like pizza, like they didn't even take out the trash and everything was piling up and it was smelling and flies were everywhere, and the cooker was really dirty with oil and grease and all that fiasco. And yeah, I really felt sorry for her. And yeah, that actually happens. Like, yeah, so my flatmates will cook with oil. Like, yes, they have the ability to go to the shops and buy oil, and they have the ability to cook with the oil. Or sometimes oil might just splatter all over the cooker, and that that doesn't go well. Like, it just doesn't look nice. And I feel like it's not fair that yeah, after you cook with the oil, all the oil is there, and then the next person wants to cook, the oil is there, and it's not really fair. So yeah, I've in my flat we have we set up a WhatsApp group where we just where we can talk and give out information and stuff like that of what's going on with the flat, who needs to take out the trash and so on. Like noise, like, yes, the thing about our flats, yeah, we can bring visitors over. There's no problem with visitors, but I feel like if they're gonna be really rowdy or all that, then that's not good. Like, there was one time, it was last week, and one of my flatmates, he literally threw like a party in the kitchen, and it was really noisy, and it was like around like 10ish or 11ish at night, and I was so tired that day. and I just wanted to sleep. Like I wasn't having it. I literally left my flat, and I went to the kitchen, and I told them politely that if you guys can like tone it down a bit, because people were trying to sleep, but I don't think they got the message. And yeah, all of a sudden they started to blare the music up a bit and started singing Queen songs, and it was just not on, and I felt like it wasn't fair. And so it was at that point where yeah, it wasn't good. Like I reached boiling point. It wasn't good, that I had to call security. That night was like around like 12ish or 11ish at night, and I was like, gosh. I told them politely, and I was literally like, no, this is not on. So I literally called security, telling them if they could just come up and kick everybody out. And the security team were so nice. They said they will be on their way. I just gave them my details, and I wanted to be anonymous because I didn't want to be like, oh, they snitch and all that too. But it had to be done because it wasn't fair. Because why would you be trying to party at like 12 in the morning? Like it's literally a school night, and everybody has school the next day. So yeah, I was like sleeping, but I could hear like all the action going on. Like I wanted to hear it. And yeah, the I think they had like a master key, so they were able to just like open it. So even though they kept ringing the doorbell, obviously the door was locked in the kitchen, so obviously they didn't hear. So they had their master key. The security team, they had the master key. They opened the door. They went in. They opened the door and they said, "Everybody get out." Got out, and I could hear it, and then they were like, "We're leaving, we're leaving, we're leaving." So yeah, they got out, and I was so happy. It was after they left, it was just so quiet, and it was like at midnight. Like once everybody left, it was midnight. It was peaceful, and I was like, "Thank you, God." I was like, oh, like that's just what I needed. Like I just wanted peace and quiet so I could sleep. And then yeah, it wasn't a good night. Like I was so tired the next day, and it was also 9 a.m. lecture, so I had to wake up really early. So I woke up at like 6, or no, I woke up at like 5ish. Then I had my shower and all that, and I was just not in the mood after because I just didn't get enough sleep. So yeah, you have those flatmates that, yes, yeah, they're that flatmate that threw the party obviously apologized via the WhatsApp group, and yeah, we all accepted the apology. And yeah, it wasn't me that was a bit annoyed by that. Some of my flatmates also took their rage on WhatsApp as well, saying that I wasn't on. They said that, oh, it's fine to invite visitors over, but there was one like obnoxious loud person that was there that was constantly screaming, like literally, like she thought she was the only person in the room. Like, come on, we're the people that pay rent in this flat. Like, if you aren't gonna bring your noise here, then go somewhere else. But that's what happened, and yeah, it was resolved. And yeah, even though I was tired that day, it was just one day. Well, what I say one day, it lasted for like, the party has been going on for like a while now. Like, Freshers week ended like 2 weeks ago. Like school's like time for school, so not many partying like it was like on the first week of Like I remember hearing like I'll be trying to sleep. I just sleep really early. I don't know why, but I love sleep really early. But I'll just be hearing like all of the other blocks. You hear like loud music blaring, and you're like, God. Like I'll check the windows to make sure that like the vents are like locked, so I don't have to hear the sound. But the windows here are just not good. And I'll just be hearing the music. But right now it's kind of quiet. Lectures have started, so there's not many parties going on. Music has died down, so it's good. It's nice, and yeah, that's just been happening. So we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys were able to make sense of what I said in this video. I hope it's not that long, but yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, please share, tell your friends about it. Yeah, I like doing this. I like editing, I like creating content, I like planning what I'm going to do for my videos. if I could actually encourage and motivate somebody out there to, like, you know, never give up on their dreams, then I'm a winner. I'm grateful. I'm so glad to actually do it. And I'm so grateful for the comments that I've been receiving. People have said that they found my videos really like helpful, so it's really like motivated me to continue making more videos. I just pray that the channel grows and I can reach more people through this platform. And yeah, and also I've also created a blog as well with this YouTube stuff, and this blog is called The Road to the MD, and I post weekly, and it's just me as a pre-med studying medical physiology to hopefully one day applying for medical school. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.